G'day guys, Ben Anderson here. Welcome to the bodyweight series. We're going to be doing lower body today. We're also going to add in low impact plyometrics and abdominals. So before we get started with our warm up, you'll notice I'm wearing my cool Jordans, my 31s. I want you to take those shoes off if you're wearing them at home or wherever you are, if it's appropriate. We're going to do our workout today in our socks or in our bare feet. And the reason for that is we want to strengthen our feet, our knees, our spine, and the way we do that is by taking our shoes off and training as barefoot as often as possible. So even though we look cooler with these shoes on, let's take them off and let's treat ourselves like athletes. So that way when we're on the court or on the field or whatever sport you're playing, or even if you're just someone that likes to just exercise and have longevity, we can contribute to that and try and prevent injury as much as possible. So I'll see you in 1 second. Okay, now we've got our shoes off, we're ready to go. We're gonna start with a quick breathing exercise. We're only gonna do this for 1 minute, although I highly recommend once we've done it for 1 minute, you pause and then maybe do it for an extra 2 minutes. You do not have to though if you wanna get going with the workout. The reason for this is because most people are inefficient breathers. What I mean by that is if you look around when we're allowed to go back into stores and stuff again, most people are hunched, and that's obviously because we have poor mobility, but a lot of it is because they don't breathe correctly. They don't breathe using their diaphragm, okay? So we are gonna do something called circumferential diaphragmatic breathing, which sounds really strange, but all that means a fancy way of saying breathe using your diaphragm or breathe as if someone's about to come and smack you in the guts, okay? So when we're doing this exercise, you're breathing using your belly, you're not just breathing using your chest, and you're producing force on a 360-degree radius, and you're uptaking as much air as possible, and then you're expelling as much as possible, okay? So I know this is gonna be a weird way to start the workout, but it's gonna be really good. It's gonna help you decompress a little bit. It's gonna help you kind of focus on what we're about to do. If you're frustrated with anything going on today, it's gonna be a good way to kind of get rid of that. If this is first thing in the morning, then this is a really nice transition into your workout, okay? So I am gonna let you choose between one of three positions, okay? Position one, lie on your back. Okay, position one, lie on your back. If you do that, I want one hand here, and I want you to push in just a little bit with your hands. Okay, so position one, lie on your back. If you don't want to do that one, position number two, you're going to be doing a kneeling position, holding your stomach in nice and tight. Position number three, if you want to try that, you're on your hands and your knees, and I want you to picture yourself as if you were like a greyhound, the dog. So if you notice, a greyhound dog has a large rib cage, small waist. That's how we want to be doing this exercise in terms of that position, okay? I'm going to go with the lying on the back position, okay? For those of you who are going to do 3 minutes of this, you're going to hit pause after we do our 1 minute. I want you to try all three positions. Just do a minute in each, okay? We are going to be doing a 5-second inhale, 5-second hold, 5-second exhale, 5-second hold, and then that brings us to our 20-second breath. So we'll do 3 breaths per position for the sake of the video, so that way you're not too bored though. We're just going to do one position right now for 1 minute, okay? So big inhale for 5, hold, big exhale for 5, hold, 5 seconds on the hold, okay? So I'm going to go on my back. One hand on the stomach, one hand on the lower back. Try and take in as much air as you can. I'm going to breathe on the first breath, but breaths 2 and 3, I'm going to shut up, okay? And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale everything you got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breath 2. Breath 3, last one. Okay, so there we go. For those of you who are doing 3 minutes of this, hit pause, go do your thing, do the other 2 positions. The rest of us, let's let's get ready, let's get into it, okay? We're gonna start with some mobility, which means we're gonna do some yoga type movements, but we're gonna get moving. The workout will start to feel like a workout pretty quick, okay? So even though we're in warm-up phase, give it everything you got, and just remember, we're doing low impact plyometrics today as well. This is something that you can do in your living room at home, or you can do outside or at a park, but we're focusing on stabilization, we're focusing on strength, and we're focusing on building those shock absorbers, okay? So, here we go. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go into a soft lunge. Now what I mean by that is I don't want you to slam your knee on the floor. Soft lunge, hold that for a second, and then we're gonna frame our foot, but we're gonna take our time getting there. So try not to beat me, just kind of go as I go, okay? I'm doing this workout with you. Okay, I'm gonna frame the foot now. What I'm going to do now is since I'm on my left leg, I'm going to take my left hand and circle it to the sky. Look up underneath my armpit. And come back down. And then as you're doing this, I'm going to face forward for the next one. As you're doing this, make sure that that knee does not rotate out or in. You want to keep it as straight as possible, okay? Now we're going to pair that with a hamstring stretch. Now on this one, we don't have to touch our toes. I just simply want you to straighten out your leg, make sure you got good balance, and I want you to pull your toes back this way, and then we're just gonna bow slightly until you feel that stretch. And just go to the point of tolerance, don't force it. So for me, that's about right there today. And every day's a little bit different, okay? If you feel like you have to touch your toes, go for it. But for those of you who struggle to touch your toes, this is all you have to do, okay? All right, we're gonna pair it again. I'm gonna face forward this time. Lunge, same leg, right? Same leg. Frame. We're gonna hold it for just a little bit. Remember to breathe. Okay, now we're gonna circle again. Try and watch that knee there. I mean, you're doing the exercise at home, but if you're watching this, try to keep me honest here, okay? I'll rotate. Come back down. Now we're gonna go into a field goal stretch and then rotate to our left. So we're gonna do up. And we're lunging forward as we do this, keeping our chest high. Now, what I want you to do is take a big inhale and then exhale as we twist. Okay, this is gonna be pretty uncomfortable for some of you. This really sucks for me, but we've gotta do it. So big inhale up. Exhale, rotate to your left if you're on your left leg. Come back to the middle. We're gonna do that one more time. Come back to the middle. Good. Back to that stretch, the hamstring stretch. Toes back first. Bow. Okay. We're gonna stay on that left leg for a little bit now, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna hinge at our hip, and then we're gonna go into a T position, and we're just gonna slowly rotate to the right, to the left, okay? So I'll do it 2 times. I'm gonna face this way first, this way second. On this one, if your heel comes up slightly, don't panic, that's okay, but you just wanna make sure you keep your balance, okay? Also, if you're feeling any kind of sharp pain in your knee, then bring that heel right back down, okay? So the heel doesn't have to come up, but if it does, don't panic, right? We only panic if there's pain. Okay, so screw that left foot into the floor. I'm gonna bring my back leg extended out, hinge. Once you got that balance, extend out to that T, and then we're just gonna slowly rotate. You don't have to rotate very far. We're gonna do 3 rotations each side. It's very difficult to do. Okay, my knee's on the spot for a second, check it out. Whew. Now that hamstring and that quad and that hamstring should be on fire by now because of what we've done so far. We've done the soft lunging stretches with the rotations and then doing it standing as well, okay? Now we're going to do that one more time. Screw the foot in. The knee shouldn't come over the toes, okay? You should be able to see your toes the whole time. Be patient coming into this position. This is really tough. Whew. Maybe rushed it a little bit, but that's okay. You'll notice too, with your shoes off, your feet will feel like they're on fire at certain points. That's okay, all right? It's the same stimulation you're getting as if we were doing bicep curls. The blood rushes in, it gets warm, and then after a certain amount of reps, it feels like it's gonna explode and it's on fire, right? We've become accustomed to like certain muscle groups having that feeling and other muscle groups not. If you're not used to this feeling, then you might be like, ooh, I don't like this. Just get used to it, give yourself some time, you'll adapt, okay? Right leg, soft lunge, here we go. Soft lunge. Just be patient. Every leg feels, not every leg, we've only got two, right? But each leg feels a little different. You know, frame the foot, heel stays down. And I feel like my right hip flexor is a little bit tighter than my left, so this side's always a little bit harder for me. Okay, now I'm gonna rotate, and I'm gonna put my palms down. If you can't do that, just stay on your knuckles. Rotate without rotating the knee. Rotate the arm, look under the armpit. Come back down. Do it again. And I don't know why, but I am already shaking. That's good. Maybe it's because I'm trying to do like really good form because I know I've got you guys watching me. Which tells me that I might not be doing so good one by myself. So it's a good thing to remember that people are always watching, right? Okay, now we're going into our field goal stretch. So remember, the breathing will either add to or take away from the exercise. So try and breathe correctly. We inhale on the raise, exhale on the twist, come back down, we'll do it 2 times, okay? And then exhale. Back down. So the reason why we're doing these rotational exercises right now is because our thoracic spine, it gets tight really easily, but in not just sports, but every facet of life, we have to rotate, right? And as people get older, points of rotation, rotator cuff, hip, elbow, wrist, those areas are the ones that are the most susceptible to arthritis. So we just want to make sure that we maintain flexibility, especially from a young age. You always hear us old people, right, talk about how you need to stretch and do all those things while you're young. So that way, when you get older, you've got that mobility and that range of motion, and you have a little bit higher quality of life in terms of just moving around. And I'm now that old guy saying that, okay? All right, toes back, lean forward. So yeah, just remember, time goes by fast. You'll be 35 before you know it. And for those of you who are my age,